After we passed this group, we soon went up and over the fully wooded summit of Hedgehog Mountain and continued on towards Rooster Comb. 3 o'clock right on the dot, we are at the summit of Hedgehog, which is just a big wooded summit. Nothing to see. You wouldn't even really notice it if you weren't looking for it. But we're continuing here on the Great Range Traverse to our final mountain of the traverse / getting us back to our car at the Rooster Comb trailhead. Onward to Rooster Comb. The woods on Hedgehog are a nice mix of spruce, pine, and hardwoods, and then once we got to Rooster Comb, it was like the mountains just changed, and I could feel it. I told Josh, hey, I'm pretty sure we're on Rooster Comb right now. This looks like what I remember, and I know we're near that junction. And my gut feeling was correct. And then moments later, we arrived at what I called in my Rooster Comb episode of the podcast, the Land of the Giants, as we made it to the trail junction with the giant boulders everywhere. From here, it's a hop, skip, and a jump to the Rooster Comb summit, which is a nice rocky ledge with front row views of Lower Wolf Jaw. It's actually a nice little day hike on its own. I do highly recommend it. It's 3:41. We're a little over 18 miles into the day. We have a couple miles left to go. We got to Rooster Comb, immediately left, and we are finishing this last 2 miles down to the car. Josh's truck awaits us at the Rooster Comb trailhead parking. And I cannot wait to see that truck and to put my Crocs on and get out of these boots. My feet have held up nicely today on this big hike, but we are in the final 2 miles of the Great Range Traverse. Body feels good, feet feel good, everything feels good. Really stoked on the day. The trail is also basically all soft dirt, so at this point in our day, we were stoked to be walking on nice soft dirt as we traversed our way the final 2 miles down to the parking lot. Switchbacking down Rooster Comb, passing the giant boulder engulfed by a tree like an octopus, and then we made a left around a granite wall, continued what felt like endless walking as our feet were definitely ready to be finished by now, and then we finally made it off the mountain. We crossed over the small wooden bridge and we arrived at the final walk along the pond as we head towards the trailhead. Well, we are out of the woods now, walking over the little wooden bridge at the bottom of the Rooster Comb Trail. We are so close, almost done, ready for a nice Stewart's milkshake. Minutes later, we wrapped around the pond, we turned right, heard the beautiful sounds of cars, saw the long wooden bridge leading to the parking lot. It was just before 4:30 p.m. 15 hours after signing in, we were finished. The Great Range Traverse was now officially complete. It is 4:28. We are 15 hours and 4 minutes into our day since signing in at the Adirondack Lodge to hike Mount Marcy. Over 20 miles later, and 10 mountains later, 8 high peaks, we are at the Rooster Comb trailhead parking where Josh's chariot awaits us to drive us both back to Lake Placid. The Great Range Traverse is complete, and it was a complete success. Super stoked on everything from the sunrise on Marcy to not getting blisters, body and everything holding up really well. We made good time. Super happy with this.
And for the most part, the views were massive.
They were pretty massive.
I'd say, what'd you say?
I'd say they were pretty massive views also.
Yeah, great hike. Really liked it. Everything we thought it was going to be.
Perfect.
And then some.
Yes, I don't want to do it again right now.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Again.
I would like to go to Stewart's right now and get multiple milkshakes at this point. And that's where we're going to go. The Great Range Traverse is complete. Time to go back to the Adirondack Lodge and pick up my car.
Oh. Good job, dude.
Yeah, good job to you. Crushed it today. Lake Placid to Keene Valley. 8 high peaks, 10 mountains in total, 15 hours, 21 miles, and one unforgettable day on the trail here in the Adirondack Park. According to my Garmin GPS, our day ended just under 8,000 feet elevation gain. A lot of memories were made this day. And I will say, this hike may go down as my single favorite day I've ever spent on the trail, and in one that I'm legitimately proud of accomplishing. We were very fortunate today because everything was firing on all cylinders. A sunrise on Marcy, blue skies all day, our bodies and feet held up well. We weren't crawling out to the trailhead on our hands and knees 20 hours after we started, but instead we confidently walked out to the trailhead with gas still in our tanks. Sure, there's people out there who've done it way faster than 15 hours car to car, and way easier, but I'm proud of what Josh and I did today, and this is one day that I'll be proud of forever. We hopped in Josh's truck, where I had a pair of Crocs awaiting my arrival, and now it was time to go to Stewart's and destroy some milkshakes. Maybe some post-hike gas station food as well. Who knows? So as Josh and I started driving towards Lake Placid, I told him my wallet was in my van at the lodge, so I'm going to need him to go ahead and spot me at Stewart's. To which he then responded that he actually left his wallet at home today, and he was planning to ask me to spot him. So after literally hours of talking about how good a Stewart's milkshake was going to be, after one of the biggest hikes we've ever done, between the two of us, we had exactly $0. Man, what should have been. Josh, you owe me a milkshake so bad. Extra thick, too. You're paying for it. Anyways, after Josh told me he didn't have any money either, we just drove back to Lake Placid, and he dropped me off at my car back at the Adirondack Lodge parking lot, where I met another fan of the podcast for the first time as I was getting into my van. Shout out to Chelsea from Vermont. Thanks for listening to the show as well. And then I hopped into my van, drove the few miles home, thus completing my favorite day I've ever spent in the high peaks. Another successful day in the woods here on the Great Range Traverse. We couldn't have asked for a better day, starting with a terrific sunrise on Mount Marcy, then Haystack, Basin, Saddleback, mostly to ourselves, up the cables to Gothics, Armstrong, Upper and Lower Wolfjaws, then out to Hedgehog and Roostercomb to finish the day at the exact time we anticipated finishing, literally almost to the minute. Perfect sunny summer weather. What a great storybook day on the trail here in the Adirondack High Peaks. Thanks for taking the journey with us as we traversed across the entire Great Range. If you liked the show, leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. Follow the show on Instagram and Facebook at 46of46 Podcast. And if you ever want to talk about the show or hiking, email me at 46of46podcast@gmail.com. And keep checking back on Fridays for new mountains, new stories, new guests, and new episodes here on the 46 of 46 podcast. Remember to always leave no trace, do the rock walk, and if you carry it in, carry it out. Everything, every time, banana peels and all. See you on the trails, everybody. Pure ADK is an online community and lifestyle brand that creates Adirondack-inspired apparel and goods. They're all about sharing their adventures and creating quality products that are a reflection of the outdoor lifestyle and activities we love in the Adirondack Mountains. Whether born and raised an Adirondack native or a frequent vacationer, we all have a common bond, those feelings and memories that the Adirondacks evoke in us. As a bonus for listeners of the podcast, they're providing a 15% off discount. When shopping in their online store, use the promo code 46podcast to redeem the offer. PureAdirondacks.com. Check it out. 46podcast. Pure ADK. Exploration unbound.